Good morning everyone. Welcome back in digital class of class 8, and today I am going to do the sum number 5th of exercise 3.3. Here question number 5 says the measure of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in ratio 3:2. It means two angles are given of a parallelogram. Firstly we have to make a parallelogram named as ABCD. Angle A and angle B must be in the ratio of 3:2. So angle A ratio angle B is equal to 3:2. So let angle A is equal to 3x, angle B is not B is D, angle D is equal to 2x. Now angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Sum of adjacent angle of a parallelogram is 180. I have taught in properties. Here we write 3x and in that side we write 2x is equal to 180. Now 5x is equal to 180. 180 divided by 5. 5 3 are 15, 5 6 are 30, 36. So angle A is equal to 3x is equal to 3 into 136 is equal to 108, and angle D is equal to 2x is equal to 2 into 36 is equal to 72. Here we have done two angles, but it wants each angle. So angle A and angle D is founded. Now angle C is equal to angle A. Q? Because opposite angles are equal in parallelogram. So angle C is equal to 108. Here also angle B is equal to angle D. The same reason opposite angles are equal in parallelogram. So angle B is also equal 72 degrees. So here we have four angles, angle A 100, angle B 72, angle C is equal to angle A which is 100, angle B is equal to angle B 72. So here we have found all the four angles of the parallelogram. Okay student, now you can solve it. Now take a screenshot or note it down, and I am going to solve the next question for you, question number 6. Now, in question number 6, two adjacent angles of a parallelogram have equal measure, and find the measure of each angles of a parallelogram. Now here what is given? Adjacent angles are equal. So we can say as like angle A equal to angle B. Okay, now angle A plus angle B sum will be 180. How? Because adjacent sum is 180 in parallelogram, or we can write sum of two adjacent angles is 180. Now angle A is equal to angle A, but angle B we can write as angle A. How? Because both are equal, so 180. Here we have twice angle A is equal to 180, so angle A will be 90 degrees. Then we divide 180 by 2. Here angle A, so angle B is also equal angle A, it will also be 90. We want to talk about angle C. Angle C is equal to angle A which is 90, and angle D is equal to angle B. How? Opposite angles of. So for these two we can write opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. So I am explaining this sum once again. Here angle A and angle B is given, okay, and both angles are equal. Okay, now when both angles are equal, then their sum must be 180, because by the property, when we replace B by A, it will become 2A equal to 180. When we divide by 2 in 180, we got 90. Angle A equal to 90, then angle B equal to 90. Why? Because both are equal. And angle C equal to angle A, why we write that as like? Because the properties opposite angle of parallelogram are equal. The same, angle D is equal to angle B, and angle B is already we have found about 90, so it's also equal. Why? Because opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. So here we have done the sum number 6. You can write that sum or take a screenshot. Now move to the next sum. Now in question number 7, the figure which is given, that named as HOPE, H-O-P-E, it has given some values. Here it is x triangle, this is of 70. Now angle EHP equal to 40, and we have to find x, which is refer angle E, angle Y, which is refer HPO, and angle Z, which refers PHO. So here we have to find x, y, and z. How we could find that? Now solve it. First of all, here we knew that these lines are parallel. Why these lines are parallel? Because it's parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. So HE parallel to OP. Why? Because opposite sides of parallelogram are parallel. If these are parallel, then we can say that whole angle H equal to whole H angle 70. So angle H equal to 70 degree by the property of corresponding angle. Corresponding property you have taught in class 7. Now angle H have two parts, 40 plus Z, which is 70. So if we can find Z, then we can find the other thing. So here Z equal to 70 minus 40. So here we get the value of Z, which is 30 degree. Okay students, now here we have find Z. Now if we say that this angle X and the whole H make a sum of 180, so we can write that angle E plus angle H is equal to 180 by sum of adjacent angle, which we have used in our previous sum also. Angles is 180. So here we can write E as X and H have two parts. 40 plus Z is equal to 180. Now we have to find X from this side. Here 40 and Z is already have 30, 180. So X equal to 110 degree. Okay students, so we have found first Z and then X. Now we have to find Y. Here the same thing, HE parallel to OP are written already. Y have, so I will write the reason. Now by these angles form alternate interior. Y equal to 40 degree by alternate interior angles. I think that you might be confused about alternate interior. Then if two parallel lines intersected by transversal, then which angle forms Z like a structure? You can say Z like a structure. I also refer the properties with some tricks. So this is a trick. When two lines are intersected by transversal, then Z like a structure form interior alternate. Whether it like the Z or we can say the opposite Z. Both must be referred as like Z. So Z form interior alternate as like this. Here you can sign up these. Okay students, from that property you can see that Y and 40, these also form Z. So these are alternate interior, and when two sums face at the same direction, that name as corresponding angles. So here many properties are there, and you might be confused about also that why we use the 7 property. So listen one thing, all the properties which we have taught in class 7, 6, 8 and whatever, they all comes together in class 9 and later on 10th and later on 11th, 12th, because geometry is a pattern. Okay students, so any property of class 6th, 7th will come in 8th also. Okay students, now you can note down or we can take a screenshot of that sum. Okay student, now move to next sum. Now student, move to sum number 8. It has two parts. The first part here, guns is given G, U and S, and here we have also find X and Y. So now revise your property. In parallelogram, opposite angles, so opposite sides are equal. Each pair of opposite sides are equal. So G, U and S is a parallelogram. Okay. Now GS equal to and U. Why these are equal? Opposite sides. Why I use angle I don't know. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. In property, I give all the reasons, all the things. So 3x is equal to 18. X is equal to 18 divided by 3. X equal to 6. Here we have X. Now with the same property, GU, we can put the sign. It is as like GU equal to SN. GU equal to SN. Why? The same property, opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. So by those property, so we can write 3y minus 1 is equal to 26. Now transpose y, not y, 1 is there, it will become 27. When we divide by 3, it will become 9. So y equal to 9. Okay students, here we have found the x and y in question number first, which is the part of 8. Guns is given, so guns is a parallelogram. G is equal to NE because opposite sides of parallelogram both are equal. Then when we put this 3 on the other hand, it will become divide, and when we divide it, it will become 6. Now we have our answer 6. Again, both are equal. Now we have formed an equation. When we transpose this negative to other hand, it will become positive, and add 26 become 27. When we divide by 3, 27, why we divide? When we transpose this to other hand, it will become divided. 27 divided by 3, that called 9. Now, the question number second, or the second part of 8. What is given? It is runs. It is runs. Runs is a parallelogram. So, in this, it has 4 segments. Here I put O, which is not given in sum. In figure, if you see in your notebook or in your book, the O is not given, so I put that point. This O is intersecting point of diagonal. Which are those diagonals? SU and RN. Okay students, now firstly write the parts of diagonal. OR equal to 16 and ON equal to X plus Y. So OS equal to 20 and OU equal to Y plus 7. Now, what we do, we know that diagonal bisect in parallelogram, diagonal bisect each other. In our previous video, I give you idea of what is bisect. Equal halves. Now, which parts are equal? First of all, OS equal to OU. These parts are equal. OS equal to OU. Now, firstly OU, Y plus 7. But you can write anything. No problem at all. Those are equal. So OU equal to Y plus 7 and OS equal to 20. Now when we transpose this 7 to other hand, it will become 13. So Y equal to 13. We have solved Y. Now for X. Here I have place where to write. So OS or ON equal to OR. ON equal to OR. Why we write these things? Because I already write the reason in parallelogram, diagonal bisect each other. So ON equal to OR. Then ON equal to X plus Y and OR equal to 16. What is X or what is Y? Here it is not possible to solve without the value of Y. Are we able to write the Y? Yes, we are able to write the Y because we have found that. At the place of X is here, at the place of Y we write 13, that is 16. When we transpose this 13 to other hand, it will become negative X equal to 3. So both of the things we have X equal to 3 and Y equal to 30. Now question number 8 has done. It has two parts. First part related to opposite sides of parallelogram and second part is related to in parallelogram diagonal bisect each other, that property. Okay students, now you can take a screenshot or note down that. Now students, in question number 9 it has only one part. Okay student, in question number 9 it has only one part. Two parallelograms are given. The first one risk and second one clue are parallelogram. We have to find X. Now solution. It's very simple sum. This one is risk. R-I-S-K. Here this angle is 122. We have to find this angle. Now, firstly, RISK is a parallelogram. So angle RKS plus angle KSI is equal to 180. Sum of adjacent angles is 180. Okay. Now RSK is 120 and this one refers to KSI, that is 180. Now what is KSI? Angle KSI is equal to 60 degree. How we find that? We subtract this 120 from 180 and write that step also, because you are in class 8 and you might be confused. So it is 60. Angle KSI is equal to 60. Now the rest of solution. This one is 70 and this one is also 70. Why? Opposite angle. So CLUE, C-L-U-E is a parallelogram. Angle CEU equal to 70. Opposite angles of parallelogram. So this one is 70 and this one is 60. Now here we have one triangle. Name as, I write that A at intersecting point. So triangle AES. In triangle AES we have angle S, angle ESA plus angle AES plus X is equal to 180. Why it become 180? Angle sum property of quadrilateral. What? Angle sum property of quadrilateral. Here ESA. What is ESA here? So ESA refers to 60 and AES angle E refers to 70 and we have to find X equal to 180. Now X is equal to 180 minus 130. They make together 130. Now X is equal to 50 degree. What? X is equal to 50 degree. Here we have done our sum. So what it is given? It is given a parallelogram. This one. So those angles make together 180. So we can find this by subtracting 120 from 180 equals 60. And in this CLUE, E and this one is 70. They make together, not make together, they are equal. Why they are equal? Because opposite angle of parallelogram. Now we have a triangle. Just I put a vertex A here, because it is not given in sum, I think. Yeah, it is not given in sum. So I put A here. Here AES. Now A is X. This one is 60 and that one is 70. They will make together 180. Now when we transpose the sum of 60 and 70 to other hand, it will subtract from 180 and we have our answer 50 degree. Okay students, now here we have done question number 9. In question number 10, we have to refer that the given figure is a trapezium or not and which two sides are parallel. So first of all, angle M is 100, angle L is 80. Now we have to add these two angles. Angle M plus angle L, that make together 180. How? It must be together of 180. Now firstly, angle M, what it is given? It is given 100 and angle L it is given 80. They make together 180. Now sum of two adjacent angle is 180. So it has two lines parallel and parallel to KL. By which property? Because they form alternate interior co-interior 180. If two angles form 180, then they named as co-interior property. So they form co-interior 180. So these are the parallel lines. And if in a quadrilateral one pair is parallel, then it's a trapezium. Okay, so how can we write that given figure is trapezium? So firstly we add these two angles. When these two angles make together 180, it means these lines are parallel. And if one set of opposite side is parallel, then it's a trapezium. So I want to rewrite this property. Actually this property is not proper. So firstly we have to write if one pair of opposite sides is parallel, then it's a trapezium. That is not a proper thing. Now this one is a proper thing. If one pair of opposite sides is parallel, how it could be parallel? It could be parallel by co-interior property, which we have taught. What is co-interior? When two lines parallel and one transversal intersect, then two angle form is known as co-interior. Okay students, now move to sum number 11. We have to find measure of angle C. Now this is the figure. This is the figure. Here A, B, C, D. The D is given 120 and we have to find this angle. Question number 11. Okay students. Now first of all, ABCD is a trapezium. In trapezium it is not referred by only this, that is trapezium. One more thing is know about which sides are parallel. So it is as like AB parallel to CD. It is given. This part must be given. After that you can consider a trapezium fully. Else, if anybody says that this one is a trapezium, that is not a proper definition or the proper property of trapezium. It must be given which sides are parallel. So here it is given AB is parallel to CD. If I am right, yeah, AB parallel to CD. Now we have to find angle C. If AB parallel is CD, then these angles make co-interior property. Angle B plus angle C must be 180. Why? Co-interior. That property you have taught in class 7. What is co-interior? I teach you when two lines intersect by a transversal and those lines are parallel, then they form 180 degree. If they form 180, then must be parallel, and it is parallel, then must be 180. These are the vice versa property. So angle B is 120 is given, and we have to find angle C. Now how we find angle C after transposing that to other hand? So it will become 60 degree. Angle C is equal to 60 degree. Now in question number 12 you can do by the same method of question number 11. So here we have done our exercise. Today itself I am giving you the next exercise 3.4. So students, ready for that video also? Okay students, now in exercise 3.4 we are going to start the sums with the properties which I have taught you in some previous video. Now the first we have to state true and false. The first sum refers true and false, so I will write T for true and F for false. The first, all rectangles are square. Yeah. No. Or we have write false. All rectangles are not square. Whether all rectangles are not square, but we can say that all squares are rectangle. So all rectangles are square, it's false. Now the B part, this one A, now the B part. All rhombus are parallelogram. Yes, all rhombuses are parallelogram because rhombus states the property of parallelogram. Because I told you rhombus is a special kind of parallelogram. I have taught you in written also by the property, so it will become true. Now the C1. All square are rhombus and also rectangles. Yeah, all square are rectangle, all square are rhombus. Why? Because square refers as like king of quadrilateral and king refers everything, so it's also true. Now D1. So all squares are not parallelogram, so it's a false because I already told that all squares are everything, so all squares are not parallelogram, it's weird, false. All squares are parallelogram. Now the E1. All kites are rhombus? No, because in rhombus all sides are equal, but in kite only two pair of adjacent sides are equal. Okay, so this property is known. All kites are rhombus? No, all kites are not rhombus, false. Now the F part, all rhombuses are kite? Yeah, we can say that all rhombuses are kite because all the property of kite is referred to rhombus. So all the property of kite satisfy the rhombus. So rhombus will satisfy all the properties. So all rhombuses are kite, so true. It must be true. Now the G part. So here all the parallelograms are trapezium. Yeah, because in a trapezium only one pair is parallel, in parallelogram two pairs are parallel. So it is advantage with a parallelogram, so it's a true. Now the H1 and the last one, all squares are trapezium? True, because if it's a parallelogram, then trapezium also can be known as, not the square is also known as the trapezium, rhombus is known as trapezium, all the things which are after trapezium known as trapezium, else kite. Okay students, now we move to second sum. What is given? Identify all the quadrilateral that have four sides of equal length. In two type of quadrilateral it is given. The first one, of four sides are equal. Four sides are equal, or we can say all sides are equal. In which quadrilateral four sides are equal? So rhombus, and square. Here all sides are equal, or we can say all four sides are equal. Now the B part. It is given four right angles. Yeah. It also referred to quadrilateral. First, rectangle. In rectangle, all angles are right angle, and in square, where it is square, all the properties satisfied by it. Okay, now only two parts it has. Now the question number third. Now in third sum we have to refer how square is a quadrilateral. So third first part. A square is a quadrilateral. Yeah, because the square have four sides. Angles. Vertices. If a figure has these things, then it's a quadrilateral. So square is a quadrilateral. Yeah, square have four sides, angles and vertices. Now, B part. Is square a parallelogram? Yes. Square is a parallelogram. How it is a parallelogram? Because each pair of opposite sides of a square are parallel. Okay, students? Yeah, each pair of opposite sides of a square are parallel, so it's a parallel. Now, square is a rhombus. Yes. Square is a rhombus. By all sides are equal. All sides of squares are equal and diagonal intersect, not bisect at 90. Now the D part. It's a rectangle? Yeah. Diagonals are equal. Diagonals of a square are equal and all angles is 90 degrees. So I want to explain it once again. Square have four sides and four angles and four vertices. So we can say that square is a quadrilateral. Square is a parallelogram. Yeah, it's a parallelogram because each pair of opposite sides of a square are parallel. So square is a rhombus. Yeah, it's a rhombus because all sides are of squares are equal and diagonals bisect at 90. Now the D part. Diagonals of is a square a rectangle? Yeah, diagonal of squares are equal, which is in parallelogram, and all angles is 90. So square refers all the property. I already told you that we can tell a square the king of quadrilateral. So it refers all the properties of the present quadrilateral. Okay, students. Now in first sum of question 4, diagonal bisect each other. In how many quadrilateral diagonal bisect each other? Then parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus and square. In these four quadrilaterals, diagonal bisect each other. Perpendicular bisect of each other, rhombus and square. This is the property about diagonal, and diagonals are equal in two. First one is rectangle and the second one is square. Here you can also see that square is everywhere. Why? Because all the properties referred to by the square. So diagonal bisect each other in parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus and square. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other, that is in rhombus and square, and diagonals are equal in rectangle and square. So now we can move to the question number 5. Why rectangle is a convex quadrilateral? Rectangle is a convex quadrilateral because its diagonal intersect inside the interior of rectangle. So why rectangle is a convex quadrilateral? Rectangle is a convex quadrilateral because diagonal intersect the interior of rectangle. In interior, here you have to write in also. In in an interior. Okay, now question number 6. It is given ABC is a right angle triangle. So it is given ABC is a right angle triangle. So we can write B here, A, B, C. This one is right angle, and there is a point O. Okay, students, O is midpoint of right angle. So here we write O is midpoint of AC. So explain O is equidistant from A, B and C. So it must be as like that, OB equal to OA equal to C. It can be possible when we draw this DO and join from A and C and refer the point D. So firstly I want to write construct. This one is construction part. What we have constructed? Produce. What we produce BO to D and join it from A and C. So what we got after that? After that we got hence given figure is rectangle. Why it is rectangle? Because when we produce this one to other hand and this one is right angle, and so this will also become right angle. Why? These lines are parallel, these lines are parallel. These are right angle and these remaining are also have equal parts, so these are also right angle. So all of them make together a rectangle. When it is a rectangle, then diagonal bisect each other. So here we can write diagonal here. I forgot about the full property, so I write that diagonal bisect each other and are equal in rectangle. If those are equal, so BD equal to AC, and when those parts are equal, then half of that, then AO equal to BO, and AO is already equal to OC. So whole the parts, these are equal to each other. So we can refer after proving it rectangle that the given part is a part of rectangle. So here I have done all the parts, all the sums of chapter 3. It has quadrilateral and I have explained all the properties of quadrilateral, and each and every sum I have done for you. So do that sum in your geometry notebook, the whole chapter 3rd. And the chapter 3rd is referred for the half yearly exam. Okay students, I think it is enough for today. I have done all the parts, all the sums. In next video we will meet with a new chapter. Okay students, goodbye, take care and be safe at your home. Thanks a lot for watching this digital class. I am signing off. Goodbye, take care.